time for the new episode of I Love Cambridge podcast, the show that brings you great stories from people in our community in many different businesses and walks of life. Let's get started with your host, Walter Montero, a real estate and mortgage agent in the province of Ontario. He implements internet marketing strategies into his businesses and offers an online course on using their RRSPs to invest in private mortgages. Tune in and enjoy this week's episode. As a result of the current epidemic, several vital services that require a workforce are being cut due to health concerns. Is it still possible to get outstanding services despite all the health precautions in place? It has become increasingly difficult for professionals and overworked homeowners to manage their personal lives. Today, we'll delve more into Concierge Ones, mainly the commonly available services in the area.
So how you guys doing? You keep busy?
As busy as the pandemic will allow us to be.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. So,
We had to, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
We were just saying we closed things down, like as far as, personal one-on-one services for this month.
Yep.
We're just doing like the concierge side of things with the house checks and that, but the other stuff we haven't been able to do. So,
But they are opening things up at the end of the month, now.
Yeah.
So we're starting to hope that people get back into it, because it was picking up quite a bit. We were getting a lot of work, and then whatever wave it was now came across and slowed everything down again.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, there's where we are here. We're in the top end of Costa Rica, Guanacaste, and there's a lot of American influence here. So there's in their eyes, there's no pandemic.
yes, yeah.
So you can walk around pretty much anywhere you go, anywhere you want to go. There's, I'd say maybe, I don't know, 10. I wouldn't say 20%, 10 to 15% of the people are actually masked. The rest of them are not. Or there are certain areas that, if you want to go into a grocery store or anything like that, then that's a must. You can't go in without one. But anywhere else, you get to a restaurant, you have your mask on, and they even say right at the door, don't worry about your mask. So anyway, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah. So you guys up until this last wave obviously had things going pretty good, and now things are going to open up for you. And how have you noticed business? What do you find people are asking for the most? Well, there's Karen. She's grabbing her computer.
Well, oddly enough, it's kind of a contradiction as to what they're asking for, because some people seem to be, I've been trapped at home so long, I need my place organized. I'm tired of working through this disorganization. I'm tired of being unhappy with my surroundings. Yeah. And then there's a small percentage of people that seems to be growing that have said, you know what, we're traveling. And we need people to look after a house while we're gone. We need to get out and travel. Yep. And we want someone to look after our home. And a couple of the clients that we've had have said it's very difficult to find people that do that. So we've been really promoting that lately. And we've,
well, both of those services have been the ones that have really taken off lately.
It's sort of a contradiction, where you have people that, are staying home, and then people that want to travel. So
and especially since a lot of people were working from home last year too. So that kind of, they needed to get that done too. So
yeah, sure, for sure. Yeah, one of the things I like most about your service is it's that that when you're trying to do something, or you want to do something, and you go, where the hell would I even go for that? I don't even know who to call, right? And then I just say, well, just call Rick. He'll, right? So that's the great part. I mean, that's what I liked about it. Especially, the big thing, like when people ask me about your services, or when it comes up in conversation, they'll say, well, how do you use them? Where did you use them? And I explained to them about that steel gasket that we put around our stovetop. and explained to them. They said, yeah, like, how would you even know where to look for that? I said, exactly. This is exactly what's so great about your service.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
Yeah, I like hearing that. That's awesome.
and great that worked out.
Yes,
so.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And there's things that, the other thing, of course, is what I liked is, obviously, when you require a certain thing that, you obviously want to get multiple quotes for, and, you don't know where to, you don't maybe not necessarily have the time, but maybe not even want to go through the hassle.
Yes,
Just being able to delegate that off to somebody, and then all of a sudden, you got 3 quotes in your inbox. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, Walter. We have a puppy here who gets very excited whenever my phone rings.
Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem at all.
Sorry. She associates it with the door, somebody coming to the door for some reason.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry about
okay.
that.
Oh, that's okay. That's no problem. All right. Very good. Now, have you noticed any change in your demographic or your geographic area where you service? Or are you finding it more intensifying in certain areas?
It's weird that you say that, because we thought it would kind of be in the area that we live in, but lately some of the inquiries we've had are way outside our range.
Yes, yeah.
And we've actually had to refer them to other concierge services. Like, we'll take the time to look up other concierge services in that area, but they've been way outside of our area, like Stayner, Ontario.
Oh yeah,
and areas like up that way where we just don't go that far.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've had a few like that recently, but most of it is inside the Kitchener, Waterloo, Guelph, London.
We go within an hour of the KW area. We'll travel within that. Not too much past that, because then it's just not worth our time. Of course,
for sure.
A lot of time on the road, but within about an hour or so. But we have, like Rick was saying, we have had a lot of inquiries outside of that area itself. So unfortunately, we couldn't do it.
Yeah, so there is a need for that service. It's just we're not.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, no problem. That's why we have an editor.
Nobody ever calls until we're on a call.
Well, that's perfect. Murphy's Law, as they would say.
Yeah.
No phone calls all morning, and then you get the phone going.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so you find yourself almost being a concierge service of concierge. That's interesting. I don't know. Top Notch sounds like a franchise opportunity to me now. I'm not sure.
That's a good idea. We should look into that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Maggie's philosophy, and mine as well, but Maggie's like, well, we'll find somebody in that area for you. We can't service that area. We don't do that area, but you know what? Let us look into it and, find somebody in that area that can potentially help you, because that's really what we're about, is trying to help people.
Yeah, for sure.
If we can't do it, we'll try and find somebody who can. And it's just a courtesy thing. And because obviously there are people that they're reaching out, they're needing help, they're asking us for help, and we feel bad that we don't go that far, but let's see if we can find somebody that can go into that area and help them.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say what would be the number one thing somebody asked for? I think we kind of touched on it earlier, but what would you say the number one thing is? You hear it over and over again.
Yeah, the number one, for sure, organizing is the biggest service that we have. Organizing is the biggest one that we have, for sure. And and then after that, we do a lot of research online for clients and that, and personal shopping. The two, those are kind of closely linked. Yeah. And house check, like we were saying, like that's, picking up clients, I guess, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
More people
and the personal shopping isn't like something like going to pick up groceries. We
Mhm.
really don't do that. When we started 4 years ago, that
No.
was something we did offer.
Considered, yeah.
But then the pandemic hit, and then there's been a lot of services that come along that kind of just specialize in that. So we don't compete with that. But what we do is, like, we've had clients that have traveled in the past and aren't traveling now, but they've acquired things like pictures and stuff like that that they want to get framed. So we'll go out and we'll get quotes for framing, and we'll get, like the boxes that you can put items and maybe hang them on the wall and stuff like that. So
Storage solutions, like all that kind of stuff,
yeah, they want to fix up their home. So, we get things.
And custom made stuff too.
Yeah. A lot of custom made stuff. So yeah, and we have that, and we have clients that have said, you know what, I'm going to move to another place. Can you just set everything up for me? I'm busy. I don't have time to take care of this. They're repeat customers. We've dealt with them for years, and they just said, you know what, I know you guys now. Just take care of it. Yeah. Like, I don't want to have to worry about it. I just want to, let me know when the movers are coming, and everything else.
Just go.
You run with it, and I'm great with that. So
that's great.
That's a really good feeling when you have clients that feel that comfortable with you, where they say, I can't be bothered with this. I don't want to be bothered with this, or I just don't have time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Do it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one job that we did get last year that we really enjoyed and would love to be able to do more is we actually helped a family relocate to Canada. And we set up everything for them. And that was a great experience. Yeah. And I'd love to do that again. I would actually like to, that be a big part of the business, because it encompassed a whole bunch of everything, the concierge, the organizing, setting up the home for them. We got it all ready. So when they moved in, it was just, they're ready to go.
Yeah. And it's funny because when we got the email, we thought, do these people know we live in Canada? So, we eventually set up a Zoom call with them, and they said, yeah, we know you're in Canada. We're moving to Canada.
Yeah.
So, they came from Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
And how's your Portuguese?
Well, not very good.
Oh, come on, say something in Portuguese. Come on, say something.
Just the clean stuff.
Don't speak anything but.
Oh, okay, good. Perfect.
No,
that's a great idea.
Really good experience. We really enjoyed doing that, and they were really happy. It was great to meet them, and
And actually, they've stayed in touch with us because there's things they didn't know how to do, and they just keep reaching out to us and saying, Rick, Maggie, can you come help us with this? Can you come help us with that? And it's like, sure, no problem. And like Maggie said, during the transitional period, the landlord, because they rented a home here, he lived in Mississauga, so we actually became the go-between. So we were, there's some things with any house that you move into, there's some issues that need to be resolved. So we work with the landlord in getting those resolved. We set up the drive, where they come in from the airport in Toronto.
Pick them up at the airport,
we set that all up. We met them at the house when they come in, welcomed them, showed them stuff in the house, how everything worked, because in Brazil things are a little different, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So,
and that was the one time we actually did the grocery shopping.
We actually did.
Oh, yes, okay.
They put together a list of stuff they would need, for when they arrived. So we got all that ready for them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty much the full deal there for that job, and it was like Maggie said, it was a great thing to do. And
it was, really enjoyed it.
And if people that are moving to Canada,
well, I'll tell you, that's a heck of an opportunity. I follow a guy. I actually get his newsletter. His name's Ben Rabideau. He puts out a real estate newsletter, and basically, I think for the next few years. In fact, last year was one. I guess Canada takes in about 400,000 new immigrants every year.
Wow.
And they say a very large percentage of them, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I think it's somewhere between 45 and 50% do not leave the GTA area. So they
Wow.
basically, they come into Toronto, and obviously, I mean, our area for all intents and purposes has been encompassed into that because, just from an affordability perspective, they scatter right down the 401. So I think you're onto something there. That's a great opportunity. I think even just you probably already have, but touching base with the Chamber of Commerce would probably be a great idea because I'm sure these people need help. Oh, good,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, we are members.
Excellent.
So and we really would like to, like I said, like that's something we would really definitely like to grow in our business. We really enjoyed it, and it was an experience I'd love to do again for sure.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the stuff people don't like to do. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. So other than that, is there anything like I guess the one question, besides the stuff you do the most, what would you say is the most unique thing you've ever had somebody ask you to do?
That's a good question. Wow. Most unique.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been a couple of different things. I don't know about unique.
Yeah. I don't know. It's some of the more unique things we can't do because it's kind of on the fringe of, what we like. They want us to look after, like they're going away. Can we look after their pets and stuff like that?
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's not really that unique,
No,
but
that's not
we
unique.
can't really do that sort of stuff. I can't really think. Good question.
Yeah, it is a really
Great
good question. I
question.
don't know what would be the most unique thing.
Like we've had a client that said, I had a tree in my backyard. He leases the house and it was a safety issue. So the owners of the house who live out of province cut it down. And he's saying, I need a new tree. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
And it's like,
wow.
okay, you need a new tree. Let's see, what can we do? Because the tree he
needs
had.
shade and privacy.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you need a new tree. Let's see. How do we work a new tree into your backyard now? So that's probably the more recent unique one that we've had is, okay, we've got to figure out what kind of tree would work and what's going to be okay with the landlord.
We're coming up with one of the pergola type thing with that's got the
shade pole on it.
Yeah, the shade pole.
Yes, okay.
Have the shade, you can open them up. Yeah, and then maybe getting some kind of hedges, so he'll have the greenery.
Yep.
So we came up with some ideas like that, and so we're getting some pricing for him, and then he's going to present that to the landlords who are coming up in the spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
so
but that's
so that's the kind of stuff we get is people kind of like,
looking for ideas, help with ideas.
Yeah, because things pop up in people's
troubleshooting.
lives and they're like, I don't know where to start here.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
So, they call us and we've learned so much in the last 4 years from people asking us all these different things over time. And, like even with you with the stainless steel, I learned so much about stainless steel and stuff that. And
it was a dilemma, because everywhere we went, these stovetops were just that much off of fitting in that cavity, and there was no way that we could have made that work.
Yeah.
So it was that was a very unique thing. We've had people ask, that have been over when they see it. Did that come with the stove? I said, no, it's a long story. Let me tell you about it.
You're probably the most unique one then, Walter.
There you go. That's me for sure. Well,
we just had a little problem. A client of ours, Russell's stuff, the hook.
Oh yeah, the pot hangers. He wanted pot hangers in his kitchen, and we hired we subcontracted out a handyman to hang it, but the snap toggles that came with the pot hanger, one broke.
Oh man, okay.
So we can't hang it right now. So I called the company that produced them, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't have any more of those." And it's like, "Okay, can I get just a snap toggle?" And it's like, "Yeah, we don't have any more of those either. But if you just go to a local hardware store," and they're based down in the States, and it's like,
yeah.
I said, our hardware stores are completely different than your hardware stores. We don't have that sort of stuff. So that's still one that's, we've come up with a couple solutions. We'll see how they work. once the client feels comfortable with going back in their home after this latest lockdown, and we'll run some more ideas by them. And there's always a solution. There's always a solution. It's just
finding that. So that's the most current, unique type of thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's just, and it's kind of like doing a puzzle or a word game or something like that. It's like, it slows you down sometimes. You have to stop and think, but generally there's always a solution. So that's what makes it fun. Perfect.
Very good. Now, what's the preferred way you'd like people to reach out to you? By email, by telephone?
Yeah, email.
Okay.
We prefer email. Yeah. So info@Top-Notch Concierge, and you have to put the little hyphen in there because
between top and notch. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And that's great. So is there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have?
No.
I think the only thing is, would you like to join us in Costa Rica?
Hey, no problem. There is an extra bedroom here. I'm actually sitting in it. So, but it is what it is. It's only 5 hours away. It's not that far.
Get the margaritas ready.
Oh yes, that's right. I have to get those away from Karen.
The only downside to that is people we're doing house checks from might get a little disappointed.
That's right. They'll notice on the security cameras the snow's starting to accumulate. What's going on up there? All right, very good. Well, guys, it was great talking to you again, and we'll get this out to our audience. I know I've shared your services with lots of people, and they love the idea, and I think you guys are definitely onto something great.
Thank you, Walter. That's
great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you. It's great talking to you. Enjoy
the rest of your vacation.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to I Love Cambridge with Walter Montero. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest updates to I Love Cambridge, you can check ilovecambridge.ca, and you like our Facebook page, I Love Cambridge Ontario. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.